Hello world, Wendy from Cali here, back with another Mixed Manny chat. Today we are doing underwater wonders for this bingo, Manny bingo, that is due at the end of August. And since we're nearing the end of July and I've still got, I think, 5 more to do, I gotta get on it. I've got a ton of different leftover sets that I plan on using for today's Mixed Manny. So if you're into watching me do my nails and listening to me chit chat about my life, keep watching. Otherwise, there's plenty of other content out there in the YouTube universe. Alright, first things first, I wanted to use on the flip side. I don't like when my tips of my nails are showing when I use like clear overlays and all of that, so it's definitely needed for tips to cover all of that. So we are going to start off with this, and I've got turtles from, I think this one was called Honu, and we've got Starlit Sands, we've got a stray hair of mine, I shed like a cat. So much hair everywhere. Alright. And then I've got Blue Holiday. This is the other on the flip side, but not tips. We've got Palm Before the Storm. And then we've got, I don't remember what this one was called. Underwater Mirage. Looks like Underwater Mirage. So plenty for us to play with and hope that they still are in good working order. So let's get to it. Oh, I already see one that's sticking. So here in Southern California, it's just way too humid. It's not like hot weather. I think it's been in like the mid 80s where I'm at, but it is certainly humid. Like, I woke up this morning, I showered, and as I was putting on my makeup, I was like already sweating, so not a fun look to be sporting, but that's where we're at. Alright, so these have been heat sealed previously because they've been opened for another Mixed Manny in the past, so I have to be really careful when I start peeling them off because they can be rather sticky sometimes, or the exact opposite. They might be dried out if I didn't heat seal them properly. So this one looks like it's going to be a sticky one. I've recently started trying to wear false eyelashes because my normal eyelashes are just really sparse and not full of volume and not full of length. So I found that there are false lashes like in little segments that you can actually place under your natural lashes rather than over them, and they're already pre-glued. So it makes it super easy, barely an inconvenience, as Ryan George would say in his pitch meetings, but really easy to just place them underneath in the right spot under your lashes. And I've enjoyed doing that, not on the daily, but like, you know, when I know that I'm gonna have a full day of being out, or I have to be on camera when taking a call from a client or a meeting with a client. I like to kind of zhuzh up my lashes, and I find that it's really nice because I don't have to wear mascara. So in the event that I tear up or cry, which Tauruses, at least this Taurus, is a big crybaby over any little thing, having the false lashes help because I don't need mascara to make my lashes look fuller. So yeah, thought I'd share that little new development here. Other than that, what I've been doing and still doing is spending time with family, going out to eat. So we've actually had some great restaurants that we've been to recently. Auntie Kitchen is one that's in the San Gabriel area that has really great breakfast specials. So you get to pick from a bunch of different sections. Order A is like the best value because you get a bowl of porridge, or some folks call it congee. And then not only do you get a bowl of porridge, but you get to pick 2 side items, and you get a free drink that you get to pick from a list of. So really, really awesome breakfast special value there. And I hadn't written a Yelp review in a long while, but this was my second time going to Auntie Kitchen, my pop's third time going to Auntie Kitchen, and their service is just fabulous. Food is delicious, and price is very competitive with what's here in the San Gabriel Valley. So I had to write a Yelp review. But in response to the Yelp review, I guess they have Yelp workers that are still trying to scout out folks to be part of their elite team. Meaning, you know, you're not really like going anywhere, but you get to sometimes have perks being part of the elite team. I remember I went to a Yelp party. Where was I? When was I? It was before I met Panda Bear, but was a place called Pink Taco. I feel like it was like very like suggestive, the name of the restaurant. But there was a Yelp party that I took my friend Na to, and we got free food there and just mingle with other Yelp elite folks. And yeah, it was just one of those things that occurred. But I lost my train of thought because I thought I was going to use these two, and now I don't remember my vision for this. Maybe I won't use these. This is Underwater Wonder. Actually, you know what? We're going to do 2 of them with my usual peace sign. On the flip side, we will use for these 2 fingers here. And then we'll do the so let's just do the thumb really quick with the nice big ones here, and then we can save the tips for something else, because you never know when you might want an ombre blue tip for something. But I don't know if I'm going to cover the whole nail with the blue. I might actually grab a hole punch and punch out a slant, because this is Underwater Wonder, and I don't want everything underwater, but I do want some of the sea turtles underwater. So that was the original vision with Underwater Wonders. I wanted to use what I already have, and I've tried very hard to be good about not buying too many new sets, because I have so many sets. Not only so many sets that have been half used, but so many sets that are new and unused and sitting in binders waiting, calling out to me saying, please use me. Don't let me sit here collecting dust and melting away in this humid summer heat of Southern California. So I've been trying to use more of the sets and buy less new sets. One good thing is that a lot of the newer launches haven't really been calling to me, but there was a launch on Friday that I know I will want to buy, which there was one that was an overlay that was like butterfly wings. I totally want that one. And there was one that was like a lacy rose overlay, and I want that one too. But for now, I am refraining from buying anything, and we'll wait for the right time. Hopefully they won't sell out, and if they do sell out, they'll restock. But that is the risk I take. And if they do sell out, you know what? Good on Color Street, and I will just have to find other ways to get a set of it. So, alright, I'm going to use my trusty Punch-a-Bunch to punch out a squiggly... Well, actually that one doesn't punch out very squiggly. Hold on. I should have planned better for this. Where are my crunchy scissors? The little craft scissors. Oh, they're not in this bag, are they? Alright, well, we will make the Punch Bunch work. Let's see what we can do. Alright, I do want, let's see, well, maybe, I'm trying to figure out how it's going to match, because if I were to cut it in one direction, the other one's probably not going to match. But, alright, let's put this, looks like a little shark bite there. Punch that out. And place it like that. Or do I want to place it like that? Yeah, that's better. Okay. That looks a lot more like what I'm going for, so let's try it out. Peel it off carefully and try to place it where I had originally thought of placing it. So, covering up the tips right there, and then stretch it across. That's more like what I was envisioning. I wanted it to look kind of like a wave, basically. So that worked. Sweet. Being creative on the fly doesn't always execute. I don't always execute it properly, but this one is going to work how I envisioned it. So that's great. Yay, success. Speaking of underwater wonders, we took my nieces to another swim lesson by Auntie on Thursday night after work. And again, we went to Smith Park Swimming Pool, which is my childhood swimming pool. I remember being very young, walking with our neighbors, Hyatt and Jason, and going to the swimming pool with my brother. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. And the girls actually really enjoy the swimming pool a lot too. So it's worked out in our favor. Alright, so this one I need to try to do it on this side, which is going to be a lot harder to manage. But let's do it anyway. Snap it. Alright, there we go. Oh, you know what? I went way too... Alright, we'll make it work. It's not exactly... It was too far down, but we'll make it work. So we're going to place it right there on the tip right there. Oh, this is going to be rough. Rough, rough, rough. You guys get to see the rough cut. Since I do not edit these videos, they are mostly just my video logs or vlogs of what's been going on in my life. And yeah, you get to come along for the adventure while I figure this out. But we went to Smith Park. The girls, there were no tears this time around. So Smith Park swimming pool is actually open on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. for recreational swim. And surprisingly, there were a lot of kids, a lot of people at the swimming pool, which is funny because I only ever remember going to the park to swim during the daytime. So I don't know if these nighttime hours are new or if they've always had them. And you know, we were like young kids when we used to walk all by ourselves, no adult supervision, way back in the 1980s. Now I'm aging myself, but we would walk to the swimming pool, pay I think it was only $1 fee to get in. And even now it's only $3 for anyone 18 and over, and 17 and under is $2. So prices are very reasonable. And I distinctly remember, and I'm gonna have to ask my brother this when I see him on vacation, but I remember getting chili fries from the park. I feel like it was a thing, but maybe my memory is like off. I do have a very Dory brain memory, so you never know with me whether or not I remember things correctly. But yes, so Smith Park, swimming. The girls actually were swimming a few paces. We would step away from the wall of one of the sides of the pool area and then have the girls push off from the wall and swim towards us. And they were doing relatively well for, you know, the level of swimming that they've experienced thus far. We used to use Waterworks for their swim lessons, but they were very scared. And it's only 20 or 40-minute sessions if you stack two 20-minute sessions together. Not enough time to really teach a child to be comfortable in the water and to learn to swim. So I had let Panda know, Uncle, that I wanted to teach the girls how to swim. And so we've been taking them to local swimming pools so that Auntie can teach them how to swim. And they've actually taken to it. I always tell the girls, if you get worried about drowning, that you need to go back to basics. Go back to learning to breathe before you even put your head underwater. Learn to hold your breath outside of the water, and then slowly learn to hold your breath underwater, and then get your body comfortable with laying flat with the water and dunking your head under and kicking the water without splashing too much. And then you work towards what we were doing on Thursday, which was having them swim to us. They even raced each other to swim towards Uncle Panda, my significant other, and swim towards Auntie. And it was a good time to be had. even I got to do a little bit of swimming, which is rare because usually the pool is so packed full of people and I have to be watchful of the girls that, you know, I don't get a chance to really swim. I'm usually just standing there calling out instructions for them to do their part as far as swimming goes. So yeah, I got to do a little bit of swimming, which now my whole body is a little sore. But at least I'm not burnt. So going swimming in the evening is a lot better than going swimming during the daytime without sunblock. Shame on me. I looked like a burn victim for like 2 weeks. It was bad. I was bright red. It hurt so bad I could barely like sleep on my back because my skin was just like so irritated. And then I started shedding skin, so it was a sight to be seen. But yes, I lived through that, and now just minor shedding of skin as I finally settle into whatever new skin I have from the burns. But that is where we're at. So let me see, hold on. Give me a moment to figure this out here. Okay. This is what I want. All right. So it's really great to see the girls taking to the swimming, but now I heard that Lilith, the older one, is sick. So she had a fever yesterday, and I'm a little worried about her because last time she had it really bad during Christmas time. So when we were dealing with my dog Buddha's death, we were also dealing with Mama Carla and Lilith being really under the weather, like to the point where Lilith's fever was like 104. We had to soak her in a cold bath to make sure that it helped decrease her temperature. It was worrisome, but you know, we as a family get through stuff like that, and hoping that she's feeling better today. We'll find out more. I hope that she's feeling good enough for a lesson with Auntie, because today is another art lesson with Auntie, which I usually read from the Harry Potter books, one chapter or two, and have them draw the most memorable thing from what they've heard in the story. So we shall see if that's going to happen today or not. I also really wanted to so work's been really crazy busy. I've been working 12 plus hours every day, whether it's in the office or at home, and I usually get like this like right before I go on vacation, but especially now because there are projects that need to go out, and we have clients with special requests that are not part of the normal timing of things. So that's what I've been dealing with for the past few weeks. And one of my coworkers, one of my employees on my team says that I remind them of anxiety from Inside Out, and rightly so. I mean, I am very much that type of personality when it comes to sorry, I gotta figure this out. Give me a moment. It's bad, like, trying to figure things out for the nails while trying to talk. Okay, I think it's gonna be like this. Alright, they say I remind them of anxiety from Inside Out 2. I feel like if you've watched the movie, the animated movie Over the Hedge, the squirrel in Over the Hedge, that's how I feel. Like, all over the place, taking care of a ton of stuff. So, you know, it is what it is. I live through it almost every single year, and I continue to do it. But yes, this year's just been added stuff because I'm balancing work life, personal life. We are taking on teaching the kids, so homeschooling and, you know, swim lessons. I want to help out with the practical life skills that they don't often teach in public schools. So, you know, it was a decision made by the family with a bunch of weighing pros and cons for it, and we settled that we as a team can provide the kids the best education and personal guidance versus, you know, glorified babysitting and sending them to public schools. Mind you, teachers do an amazing job, some of them, in teaching our children when they're given, you know, 20 to 30 kids to work with. That's not an easy feat. So, not saying that, you know, teachers are not doing their jobs. What I am saying is that giving them more personal one-on-one or one-on-two or one-on-3 versus one-on-20, one-on-30 is going to give our girls a better fighting chance at dealing with this tough world we live in. So yes. On top of doing art and the reading with the girls, I do have lesson plans when it's less busy at work to execute, which I do want to teach the girls penmanship, although my penmanship would lead people to say I should have been a doctor. You know, the chicken scratch kind of writing. If I slow down and write, though, I do have decent penmanship. It's just that when I'm in a rush, it is chicken scratch to the point where sometimes even I can't make out what I wrote. So, yeah. I will be teaching the girls alongside Mama Carla, teaching them penmanship, as well as I used to do this when I was younger, write calligraphy. So I wanted to get some calligraphy pens and teach the girls how to write in calligraphy too. But I want to wait till they're a little bit older, only because Amalika's only 6, going on 7, and I feel like I was at least maybe 8 or 9 when I started getting into calligraphy, which is, you know, Lilith's age right now. But, you know, I want to be able to give a lesson to both of the girls at the same time, and also Allison if she wants to learn it. So gonna wait till Amalika's a little older and then teach them calligraphy. So I have plenty of time right now to figure out where to get calligraphy pens for a decent price. I did find on Amazon during Prime Day or what, Prime Week, Prime Day, some watercolor palettes that were like, it was $9.99 for 12, which is an amazing deal if you think about it, because if you go to Dollar Tree or the equivalent of Dollar Tree, it's like $1.25, and it was less than $1 each. But the pans of those palettes are super shallow, so like the use of them is like maybe like a few times use, and then there's no more. So I'm gonna teach the girls, because some of their palettes already are like all the way down to the end of some of the colors. I'm gonna teach them to be resourceful and I'm not giving them a new palette. Once they lose 1 or 2 colors, they're going to have to get creative with the rest of the colors in their palettes. So that's another lesson to do, because in life you don't always get new things just because you finished off your old things or you've ruined your old things. You have to make do with what you got. So that's another life lesson for them with the art palettes. So yeah, but that's happening today, because I just know that they were already complaining last week. Look, the color, there's almost no more of this one, as if that's gonna magically make a new palette show up. Sorry, no, that's not how it works. I'm saving some of those palettes for when my sister and her kiddos are going to be in town, because I have an art project for all of the kiddos the evening that we will be tasked with babysitting my sister's kids. So I'm excited to be able to do that, but that means I need to hang on to some of those watercolor palettes for that specific reason. So yes, I'm very excited, but also like anxious about vacation, because there's so much work to be done, and I want to set up my team for success while I'm out of the office, because I don't plan on looking back during the time that I have taken PTO. There have been many times where I've scheduled vacation and we're in the middle of something like big, only because for some reason, whenever I schedule a vacation well in advance, somehow, some way, a client wants something during that period, which is like, really? Like, it wasn't on the calendar before, but now you want it on the calendar. So that happens sometimes, oftentimes. And then I'd have to kind of like, I'm on vacation, but then I still have to like do a little bit of work to make sure things are running smoothly. I don't want that this time around. In fact, I'm manifesting that I am not going to look back until my PTO is had and I've thoroughly enjoyed family food and fun on the days that we will be enjoying together. Alright, hold on. Pause on the life talk, but let's talk about manis. So what I wanted to do, Palm Before the Storm, I wanted it to look like it was like seagrass or like seaweed, kelp, or whatever under the water, but also have the turtles kind of swimming around in it. So that was the goal. I also wanted to use these to tie in a little bit of color, so I think I'm gonna use these in the middle right here. Did I want some seagrass underneath it though? Do I want some? No, that's gonna be too many. So we're just gonna use this on the ring fingers as an accent. And oh yeah, and I wanted a hidden turtle under there. Before I did that, oh, good thing I remembered. Let's get Honu open. So they have these little tiny turtles right here. This is actually a petty set, but I'm going to use it on my hands. But see, the littlest, tiniest turtle is so cute. Let's put them on, because I want turtles not on all my fingers, but on most of them, because I wanted to make use of this set before they get dried out or whatever. So there's the little turtle, and then oof, get off. Okay, And then I wanted this turtle here. And it doesn't have to be completely straight on there because the other set is going to cover right over it. So, and then let's get back to this. So this is supposed to go right on top of it. Basically, literally the underwater wonder, because the turtle is there, but you can almost like, it's almost camouflaged. So that was the whole point of underwater wonder there. So it looks like, you know, when you're looking into the water, you've got the ripples of the water and the reflection of the sun, and it's like almost hidden but not. Like, so that's what reminds me of my first trip to Hawaii, Oahu. My friend at the time, Emily, and I used to work at Mervyn's, which Mervyn's doesn't exist anymore, so now again I'm aging myself. But we went to Oahu and we went snorkeling, and sea turtles were a thing. Sea turtles in the wild, in the water, are actually pretty beautiful but also scary because they're kind of big, and you know, sometimes turtles will snap if you get too close. And so I remember seeing a whole group of turtles and going, wow, but also get me out of this water, because I was like, I'm good. I don't need to be in the water. Okay, and then this I wanted to place over the turtle too, because I wanted it to look kind of like it was hiding. The turtle was hiding in the sea kelp or whatever. So let's try that. There we go. So that is exactly what I was hoping for. So you can see a part of the turtle is hiding. So underwater wonder. Ain't that great? Ain't it grand? Alright. I'm loving it. I'm feeling it. Alright. So now we gotta do the same thing on the other side, because I like symmetry. It bothers me sometimes that the sets from Color Street, it's just 2 sets of 8 of the same like art, and then it's not very symmetrical. You can't do symmetry on the hands. And even now, it's not, like you can see, it's not going to be symmetrical because the turtles are facing the same way. But, you know, I gotta be okay with that. Just don't look at both hands at the same time, you know? On this side, do I embrace that it's not symmetrical and use glitter instead? Nah. We are going to try to match it up just a little bit, but I probably will still put glitter over it too, so it's gonna be thick. It's gonna be a thick one. But here we go. That was a little crooked. That's okay. Again, we will likely put a little bit of glitter over that one, which we've got right here with Blue Holiday. Would be a nice touch. But yes, back to life talk while we finish off this mani here. What to mention? What did we talk about last? I feel like I did a color with me. Oh yeah, and we didn't end up going to the beach because the kiddos were just too exhausted. So what I ended up doing that day... Did I cook that day? I feel like I might have cooked that day. I did. I made tomato pies. So, update. I don't know if I mentioned it in any of my videos, but we used to be part of Walmart.com. And with Walmart.com, we would get free shipping on stuff and the like. And I ordered these canned tomatoes that are imported from Italy because Italy has the best tomatoes. I'm sorry, but they do. The San Marzano tomatoes, especially when they're canned properly, are the tastiest when you're making your own homemade pizza sauce. So I ordered these canned tomatoes. The description of it on the website said that it was a pack of 6 cans for $34 some. When my Walmart order arrived, there was only 1 can. I was like, what? And so Panda Bear took it back to Walmart and was like, hey, we need to return this because we only got 1 of the 6 cans that we ordered. And they're like, well, you can't return it, sir, because you don't have the other 5 cans. Really? We can't return it because we don't have the other 5 cans, and we didn't get the other 5 cans because Walmart didn't deliver us 6 cans. They delivered to us 1 can. It was uncanny, pun intended, that would be the thing. So not only did I write a very scathing review, not a review, feedback to Walmart.com, but Panda Bear was like, we are canceling our Walmart.com, like Walmart, I forgot what it was called. Is it Walmart Plus? It's like a perks thing, like whatever, that you pay like an annual fee for or whatever. And he was like, well, I'm canceling it. We're not going to shop from Walmart.com anymore. I also, when I wrote the feedback to Walmart.com, wrote to the third-party seller because apparently the cans of tomatoes were from a third-party seller that was selling through Walmart.com. So I wrote to them and I was like, I can't believe you would scam a customer like that, where you would only send 1 can when the description says that it is 6 cans. And I guess I'm going to make a very expensive homemade pizza sauce with this 1 can that you sent me. I actually got a response back from the third-party seller. They were like, I'm so sorry that you only got 1 can. We sent out 6. So that makes me think that they sent out 6. It went to the Walmart distribution area. Somebody who was packing the package for sending to my house stole 5 other cans. That's the only explanation. I can't think of, or it could have been Panda Bear always likes to give everyone the benefit of the doubt and is like, well, maybe the person packing it didn't realize that all 6 cans are supposed to be provided to you. Maybe they, you know, it was an accident and they took out the 5 cans and the other 5 cans are sitting somewhere in a Walmart distribution area, and no one's got a home or whatever for it. And I'm like, okay, maybe that could be the case too. But for me, I'm like, they stole my tomatoes. They know how good this is gonna be, like, on tomato pies and whatever. So anyways, long story short, the third-party company actually sent me a 6-pack of canned tomatoes, and so they made it right. So we're no longer going to shop on Walmart.com, but I'm keeping the contact of that third-party seller because if they are able to, like, if I'm able to purchase directly from them, I definitely want to do that because they did us good. They did us a solid and honored their agreement of 6 cans of tomatoes for that price. And in fact, it's not even 6, because 7, because they didn't send me the 5 that I was missing. They sent me a whole 6 cans. So, with that said, the pizza sauce I made with those canned tomatoes, chef's kiss. They were so good. They're just, I need to one day just do a video and show you guys the tomatoes, because they were delicious. So yeah. Okay, I am gonna go and say that I'm not gonna put the glitter on this, because just holding it over, it's just too much. So we're gonna waste this one. Sorry, you're wasted. All right, let's get back to this. We need more turtles. So I only have this many turtles left. So that means that I need to figure out which finger, I think it's going to be this finger, that's going to get a turtle. And actually, you know what? We're going to cut out the turtle. The thumb is definitely going to have all the turtles hanging out on the thumb. So let's just do that really quick. And then we're going to cut out the little turtles for those fingers. So let's get the thumb in a good spot here. Peel that off. We're going to actually go this direction with the turtles. There we go. There we go. Nice turtles laying on the beach. Alright, but tomato pies, what are tomato pies, you might be wondering. So Panda Bear is really big on pizza, and so big in fact that we plan on going to the East Coast, Brooklyn area, New Haven, Connecticut area, to experience East Coast pizzas on our next anniversary in October. So that's the plan. But whenever Panda Bear or I are into a specific food, the challenge is, can Wendy make it? Can I make it at home? And so I ended up purchasing a pizza stone that would fit in our tiny little toaster oven here at home, and purchasing pizza peels, which are basically like a big spatula, like a humongous little spatula that's flat enough to stick it under a pizza pie and take it out of the oven, but big enough but not so big where it won't fit into the toaster oven. So that is a hard thing to do, because toaster ovens are tiny, and most of the pizza stones and pizza peels are a specific size for a regular size pizza, not for a mini personal size pizza. But searching Amazon, I found there was one pizza peel I had purchased that was a bamboo one. It was wood, but it was a little thicker than I like when getting the pizza out. So I ended up ordering during Prime Day another pizza peel that was a stainless steel, really flat one, and so now I have the wooden one to stick the pizza in, and then the stainless steel one to take the pizza out. And I've been perfecting my sourdough pizza dough from a recipe that I found on the internet, and I think I finally got the whole process down, because Panda Bear said that over the weekend when I made it, he said this one's the best one yet. So I've been tweaking it every time I make it, I tweak it a little bit more. This time I added a little bit of coarse sea salt onto the flattened like pizza dough before adding the sauce, and that was a hit. So we are pretty much all set on how to make pizzas or tomato pies. And okay, so why are they called tomato pies? So when I think of pizza, when you think of pizza, what do you think? Like, what ingredients are there? What has to be there? What is like a thing? For me, pizza has to at least have the dough base, and then it has to have sauce, and it also, for me, has to have cheese. If it doesn't have cheese, it's not pizza to me. But Panda Bear wanted us to have a low-fat option, so the dough itself doesn't have any butter or oil or anything like that. It's simply sourdough starter with water, flour, and salt. And the tomato sauce, same thing. It doesn't have any fat, so no oil or anything like that. It's just literally crushed canned tomatoes, San Marzano tomatoes, with seasoning, and that's it. And no cheese, because cheese is fat. So that's why it's a tomato pie, because it's literally just pizza dough, sauce, and basil. So I have a living basil that sits on my windowsill in our small kitchen, and that is what I finish off the pizza with right towards the end of the bake, with some basil. And yeah, so that is a tomato pie, and we've been eating that like almost like once a week, because Panda Bear loves his pizza. He's like, I don't even need pizza, regular pizza anymore. I just will eat your tomato pies. So that's how he sees it, which that makes me happy, because when I can make something and it fits that craving that one of us wants, that to me is like the best thing in the world. So he says the same thing about my butter chicken. So I have an Instant Pot recipe I found online for butter chicken, and he says that my butter chicken's the best. We don't even need to go to a restaurant to go eat butter chicken, because I can make it at home. And so again, that makes me happy, because I am such a homebody. Like, at the end of the day, like, you give me the choice of going out or staying in, and I will 9 out of 10 times say, let's stay in. So if I can make the things at home myself, heck yeah. If we can homeschool the children, hell yeah, I'm down. So yes, as long as you give me my 3 favorite things, my 3 favorite F's, family, food, and fun, we are rolling. We are all set. And family, food, and fun can be had all at home. So this little Taurus, this big Taurus, is one happy camper right now. Granted, we don't have a swimming pool at home, so that's why we have to go out to swim, but we're still in our own little bubble when we go to the swimming pool, because we just kind of keep to ourselves. We're not there to mingle with people or whatever. We're just there to teach the gals how to swim, and I love it. So that is that. Alright, let's see, how did I do this? I pointed the turtle this way, so let's try to match that up a little bit. Alright, those are the turtles. Now we just need to add a little pizzazz to that. Are we going to add sea kelp? Nope. I think we want glitter. Oh, I didn't open this one either. I need to open this one. Because this has that kind of color that comes with the underwater Mirage there. I wanted to kind of match it a little bit. So I might actually just use this Starlit Sands instead of Blue Holiday, because Blue Holiday was a little too dense. But let's take a look. Let's see how this will look. It'll probably look like buried turtles. Turtles that are buried in the sand. That's probably what it's gonna look like. We did one of them as Blue Holiday. Covering. Alright. We are gonna do it. One of them will be Blue Holiday. One of them will be the Starlit Sands. We got the hidden turtles. The thumbs I'm going to leave alone because all of these turtles are all hidden, and then these are all just chilling. Chillin' like a villain. Who else watches The Descendants? I got my nieces into The Descendants, and Disney knows how to put out good musicals, I'm telling you, in my opinion. So yeah, but all right, we are almost done here. Wow, this mani took about an hour long. I guess it makes sense because whenever I use like a ton of different sets, it always ends up being at least an hour-long video. So if you've watched all the way through to the end, I commend you. You have followed this journey along with me from start to finish. And that is awesome. So thank you if you watched all the way through. Hopefully it was entertaining. Hopefully you enjoy listening to me chit chat about my life. It's as though we are just sitting together and doing our nails together, if you're doing your nails while watching, or if you're just watching or listening while doing your chores, you know, washing the dishes, cleaning the house, trying to relax. Maybe my voice is relaxing for you, hopefully, and not grating like sometimes Panda Bear pretends that my voice is just grating, but it's probably because I'm probably, you know, nagging his ears off. But yeah, you can like, comment below, share the video with someone if you think you know someone who would enjoy watching this. Wendy from Cali just chit chat about life while doing her nails. Feel free to do that. But what emoji are we gonna have today? Well, if it's not obvious already, if there's an emoji for an ocean wave and a turtle, that is what you can comment below. If you can't think of anything else to comment, you can at least do that so that I know you watched the whole video. So yeah, let me just finish up this last middle finger here. The bird. Bird's the word. Oh, that one really covered up the turtle. He's buried deep in the sands there. That is a thick one. This is a thick one. I don't remember it being so thick. This one probably could have been just a nail by itself. But you know what? Here we are. and there it is. So it is buried. It's like, I'm going to ask my nieces now, how many turtles does Auntie have on her fingers? And see if they can count. And see if they can see this hidden one underneath. It's really buried under the Starlit Sands there. Okay. Get that done there. Obviously, there needs to be a little bit of cleanup work, but this is the final Manny. And you know what? The thumb needs just a little bit of Calm Before the Storm. It does. Some of those turtles might have to be hidden. No, that's too dark. That is way too dark. Maybe if I do it this direction though. If I do it this direction, it'll cover the turtles right here, but it won't cover those turtles. Let's do that. You gotta make it match just a little bit. So let's throw this on like that and pull it over. There we go. There we go. All right. So now I just gotta figure out how to cut that off so that it's not all ruined there. There we go. All right, we did it. It does feel very oceany to me. But I don't know, what do you guys think? I still have so many strips left over, which will be saved hopefully for other mixed manis in the future. Alright, let's finish this right here. There we go. Smooth it out. Alright. But yes, beach wave emoji with the turtle if you've watched this video all the way through. Now I gotta get going. We are cooking some ribeye steak and shrimp, some surf and turf to have a decent meal before heading on over to Mama Cholera's house so that Auntie can do her art lessons with the kiddos. But yeah, I plan on showing them the movie Over the Hedge and asking them which character reminds you the most of Auntie. And let's see if they say it's the squirrel. But here we go. This is the final Manny. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.